Good evening, everyone. This is Joe with Beyond the Chart, and this is a market update for Wednesday, September 18th, for tomorrow. Take a look at how all the markets did today and look at a few of the stocks that I'm focused on and one I got in today. This first chart is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The Dow was up 34.9 points today, very tight range, about 50 to 55 points the entire day. Very tight. And again, we're hugging this trend line that I talked about yesterday. Let's take a look. The S&P was a little bit stronger. You can see closing up near its highs. Took out yesterday's high on the trading. Again, we're approaching the all-time highs. Well, yeah, the all-time highs back up here that we had, when was this? August 2nd. So the S&P is strengthening. The Dow's slowly coming around. In the NASDAQ, it has moved to the highs as we talked about. It gapped up yesterday, up 27.8 points today. So everybody's kind of the big thing that's on everyone's mind now. The Syria thing's kind of moved to the back burner for a little bit. The main thing is the Federal Reserve comments that come out tomorrow at the end of their FOMC meeting, talking about the taper. How much are they going to taper in terms of tapering off the stimulus, the excessive purchasing of bonds that they've been doing, injecting funds into the economy. So that's the big thing everybody's looking for. And that happens at 1 o'clock Central tomorrow afternoon. There'll probably be a lot of volatility around it. But you just have to kind of, from a stock picking standpoint, you got to decide that you're either getting in or getting out. We are getting a little bit frothy here. We are getting a little bit we're starting to push the extremes. So a little cautious, but again, looking for key opportunities with stocks. So let's take a look at some of these. Now, I talked about this yesterday. Pardon my voice a little bit, also, folks, because I'm a little hoarse here tonight. Grab some water. Sinuses are kind of acting up on me. Let me pull up 3D systems. And okay, 3D systems, it was up 3.45 today. Heck of a move, over 6% in one day. So what happened? I told you I'd been looking at this. I wanted to get in. If it closed above the highs of the last 2 days, which it did, and above the blue line, the 10-day exponential moving average, which it did. So I got in to close. It bothered me a little bit that we'd had a hell of a move, when I'm getting in, but I had to go with it because that's the setup I'm playing. That's the way it looks. It's trending very well, very nicely here. I'm looking for a move to push on up. One thing I want to point out here, when I look back, we had a couple other moves like this spike move up here, spike move here, but the ADX, which is the average directional movement, was very low. This green line, it was actually below 10 at one point, and that's extremely low. And when you get the ADX very low like this, it usually means a big move is coming. And it's no guarantee, but it's usually an indication. And once this line starts trending up, and especially after it gets above 20, starts trending above 25, we've got a trend that's starting to take place. We're currently at 27. So we'll just have to see. I mean, there's a lot of things that are lining up. I mean, this could really go, but it could also fail. So you just have to go with what you think, and just take it from there and know where you're going to get out and what your stop's going to be, which I have identified. So that's it on 3D for today. Now, the other ones I'm watching, talked about Cliffs Natural Resources. I thought I was going to get a close above the highs today. It moved above the highs, backed off, did not happen. I did not get in. Okay, so I'm waiting, I'm watching. I get a close above this high, I'll be looking to get in. I have just had too many times where, I say, okay, well, if it breaks the 2-day high or breaks the 3-day high, I'm getting in. Well, then it does it, and then it pulls back, and then I get stung. So now the way I like to do it is I'm looking for a close above the highs. and I did not get that today. So we're kind of watching it. I'm still cautiously bullish on this one. I think it's going to turn. Let's see, Silver Wheaton, silver mining stock. Okay, again, I think this one is turning also. The 50-day moving average is rounding up. We've got a trend line from the June low very nicely in here. I want to see the stock get above this blue line, get the blue line turned back up, get above the gray line, and get a confirming close. So I want to close above the blue, and then I'm going to want a close above that high. And then I'm going to look to get in. Now, what's kind of neat about this also, I want to point out, I saw this. This looks impulsive to me. By that I mean strong upward movement. So here's one wave, and then here's wave 2 down, wave 3 up, and wave 4. Now, the Elliott wave rule is that wave 4 can never overlap wave 1, and it looks like it's holding that. I mean, if you look at the high of wave 1, it has not, wave 4 has not overlapped wave 1. Now, and when I talk about impulsive waves versus overlapping waves, when you look back over here, I mean, look at these waves. These are overlapping waves, okay? This is not impulsive. This is a corrective move. This is correction. This is an impulsive move. This is an impulsive move to the downside. These are impulsive moves to the upside. So when you see something start to take off like this, we're looking for 5 waves up, then we're looking for 3-wave correction, okay? And there's always like a higher degree. So that's what I'm looking for this thing to turn, and we'll see if that comes through. Talked about cliffs. Let's talk about Apache, and then we'll go to Lulu. I know I've touched on Apache before. Apache moved right up to the neckline. I've had this line drawn for days, if not weeks now. I think we've got a big head and shoulders going on here with Apache. And so we're right at this neckline, and I just don't want to jump in. I'm wanting to have this pull back below the 10-day exponential moving average for an opportunity to get in. And so we'll see. Maybe even pull back to this the 20-day moving average, which is pulling up above the 50. You can see we're getting this upward movement that's occurring now, of course, because we have this big gap and huge volume. Now, when we look at this, how big a move? We're talking, again, this exponential move. We're talking about this move, the distance of the head from the neckline, $110 projection move on Apache. Now, it may take several months, may take half a year, may take 45 days. I don't know, but that's what we're kind of looking at. Let's see, and the last one is Lululemon. Now, Lulu, this thing really bounces around, and it had a big sell-off here the other day. Can't remember what the corporate news was or something. Maybe it was the earnings. I just can't remember what it was. But I'm kind of wondering if this thing isn't trying to turn. And so I've got my eye on this. We've got this trend line here. It almost looks like a cup and a handle in a way, but it's not pretty. And I would like to see this a little bit more upright. But I'm kind of watching this one. Nothing that I'm getting ready to get in, tomorrow or anything, but it's one to we haven't talked about consumer-related type stocks, and thought I'd mention this one. I think that's it for tonight. Guess we talked about everything. We'll leave you with the S&P 500. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the Federal Reserve, and we'll see on a couple of these other stocks, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Have a great day.